beautiful babes, it's me. Once I get good at editing, I'll add like sparkle or something. So today we're going to review the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. So, I love a good drugstore foundation. I have a drugstore foundation on right now that I find lovely, and I love it, other than the color match a little bit. I need to find a better match for myself. But I love it. I think quality can be anywhere. I love drugstore lipsticks. I love high-end lipsticks. I love a good high-end foundation. I love a good drugstore cheap foundation, because not everybody wants to spend the money, and sometimes I don't want to spend the money on something super high-end and I'm gonna use it, just go out for dinner, because I like to wear makeup all the time. If I don't have it on and we're going out for dinner for like 10 minutes, or not 10 minutes obviously, but for like an hour, I'm not going to want to put on my $45 Estee Lauder foundation, because let's be honest, that's a little bit of a waste and it's expensive. And so I do enjoy a good drugstore foundation. But this, this, my friend, I tried it for about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and this is not full coverage. Don't know why they explain that it is, but it is not. It pumps out really nice on the hand. Ah! Clearly not. Oh, it went everywhere. That's what I'm doing after this beauty station cleanup. So that is the color. Fine. It does not blend out well. It is not full coverage. So I used a sponge, a flat applicator to try to just buff it out, and then like a stiffling brush. I tried everything. I tried to set this baby. It's just not fun. So when you buff it out on the hand, I'm gonna buff it out on my hand really quick, but it clings to these little imperfections. So like when I was buffing it out, it's not full coverage on the face. On the hands, it's a little bit more full coverage, because I don't know why, but it wanted to act better on this part of my skin than it did my face. In between my eyebrows, it hung and it clung, very patchy. I just did not enjoy it. It did not want to stay on my chin. So I would put this on, and an hour later, my husband would tell me, like, babe, in between your eyebrows looks kind of weird, or your chin's really shiny. And I would set this with powder, and this has a very powdery finish, so it's not like it really needs to be set. It does, like when you rub your hands across it, you can see just like a light rub right there. It came straight off, and it's very powdery finish. So honestly, if it was something else, I would not have set it, but because it transferred so much, I did set it down with a powder and a setting spray. I always use a setting spray just because it gets me going. But it was not my friend. It clung to all my little pimples that I have underneath this. They're like little textures that it would cling to and it would hold on to. See, like today's foundation is a drugstore foundation, and it's not clinging to those little portions, like those little bumps on my skin. And that's exactly what this did. It did not look flattering. It did not last long at all on my skin. And I have more of an oily complex, like in my T-zone is kind of oily, but it's not that dramatic, like to the point where like I have to use blotting papers 24/7. Like my normal day, normal foundation, I can last over 12 hours in a foundation and just have to blot it off a little bit, but in whole, it typically still looks good at the 12-hour mark. And I do work 10-hour shifts, so my makeup is on typically for more than 12 hours. But I just could not work with this. It was drying. I don't have dry skin, obviously. I have a little bit of an oil tendency, but between my eyebrows, it was so dry. It was like the Sahara. It was bad. and it clung to like the little hairs on my face. So I don't know if anybody else has them, but there's little hairs that are on the around my face like this, and you could tell that they were there because you could just see them with the foundation over top of it. Overall, is not my favorite foundation. I will not be picking it up again, and I will probably be throwing this in the trash. I do enjoy some NYX products. Like I enjoy all their lipsticks or their lip glosses. I enjoy some of their lipsticks. And I do enjoy their dropper foundation. That was one of my favorite foundations back in the day. Was the little NYX dropper foundation. I love it. But this is just not for me. There's something wrong with the formula, just in mine. Like in my opinion, it is a matte finish. It's a demi matte. So when I think of a matte foundation, this does not come to mind, because even on my hand you can see kind of, I wish the lighting was better, but it's still shiny. Like even on the back of my hand, it's still shiny. It's not a matte. Let me set it with some powder for you. I don't drop you. So I'm gonna set it with some powder even. This is how you get the matte finish for me, honestly. How I got it to be matte is I set it with some powder. Just setting it off right now with my CoverGirl Clean. Helps with the oil control. But see, now that is matte to me. I can't really tell, but it's matte now to me, and it had a lot of shine to it. So when I was taking pictures, backflash was a really big problem for me. You could just, like, it just homed in to everywhere I didn't have concealer. You could tell like where my concealer was, where my foundation began, where my highlighter was, and everything. Powders that were on top of my face and I didn't cover my entire face, you could tell like where they sat and where they were, and it just sat on top of my skin. So I like a little sinkage. I know that sounds weird, but I like it to kind of sink into my skin a little bit, not so much sit on top of the skin. Whereas that's all this did, was it was on top. Like you could tell there was no like getting into my skin and sitting there nice and pretty. It was just very bleh foundation, blah, blah, blah. It's not fun. I did not enjoy it. And there is a whole fluid ounce in here, typical. But I'd say save your money. Just save your money on this foundation. And I understand they have a great shade range. Don't get me wrong, this might be your favorite product. It just did not work for me. But they have an amazing shade range, so I will give them that. But that is the tea on the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop fail of a foundation. See you guys later. Bye.